Hey guys, want to talk to you about our monthly movement insight, and this month we're going to be talking about pull-ups in pregnancy. Oftentimes we get a lot of questions about, can I still do pull-ups in pregnancy? What if I'm seeing signs of coning or other dysfunctions? What should I look out for? And then what are some alternatives or modifications to pull-ups that I can add into my training so that I don't neglect my pulling? So first and foremost, let's discuss pull-ups in pregnancy. As soon as you are pregnant, we typically recommend that we take away any movements that put your midline, your core, into extreme flexion. So oftentimes if you hang from a bar, you might still be good, but any sort of kipping and adding a swing to that hang might present some dysfunction and things that we might look for within that dysfunction. So the most obvious is going to be coning. In coning, you're going to see that when you are hanging or everything is stretched, you might have a slight or more obvious bulge in the middle of your stomach. That's your linea alba, and that's showing that those tissues are starting to separate. This is going to happen 100% of the time in pregnancy, sometimes a little bit earlier on, sometimes a little bit later on, but that's going to be the first thing we look out for. Some other things you might notice or feel is extreme stretching sensation or almost burning. Some potential leakage, so maybe after you do pull-ups or after you're hanging from the bar, you go to another movement, you experience leakage or something that you haven't felt before, or any sort of pubic, pelvic floor pain, discomfort that you don't usually have. All right, so the first modification I want to talk about and show you is going to be our banded pull-up. First and foremost, we should get really familiar with the hollow body position. If we can't comfortably hold a hollow body position on the floor, neutral spine, and maintain that position, we're probably not going to be best hanging from the bar. Now, I'm not going to demo because I'm a little bit further along and the band still isn't enough support for me, but all you would do is hang the band, you're going to pull it down, you can put a knee or a foot in the band, you'll fully hang from that hollow body position, and that should take some tension and some weight off. Maybe if you were coning, you won't be coning anymore, and as you pull up, you're able to do 3 to 5 reps without noticing any coning at the bottom or at the top. Next, I want to show you my favorite modification, my personal favorite for a strict pull-up. This is a bar or a ring assist. Why I love it? Because we can still utilize the vertical pull, but you're going to have the assistance of your legs on the ground to take away any weight or pulling that's happening. So, setting up a bar high enough so that you're hanging fully vertical. You can go pronated or supinated, and you're going to go full hang. So this would simulate hanging from a bar. From here, I can pull and use as much legs as needed, but try to focus on using all arms as best as I can, controlling down. We can make this harder or easier depending on where our feet are. You can go Indian style, you can go one leg, but this is going to allow you to determine how much help you actually need. In the same sense, if you don't have a bar, but you have something similar to a ring, you're also going to hang that up about chest height. I like the bottom of the ring about chest height. Full extension down, and I'm able to pull, chin above ring, back down. Here, the further my feet are out in front of me, the tougher it's going to be. The more underneath me that they are, the easier it's going to be. Say you don't have something to hang on like a ring or a bar, we can still get the benefit of a pull-up without neglecting our pulling by doing a variation of a bent over row. You can use one object if it's a little bit heavier. I have a bumper plate. You could use dumbbells. You could use kettlebells. Both hands on. You're going to fold at the hips. Just drive those elbows back. Okay? Or you can use a weight. Maybe you have a little bit lighter weight and you want to do a single arm row variation. And then last but not least here, we can do more of an inverted row. This is going to be a little bit more horizontal than vertical pulling, but it's still going to get the job done. You can determine where your feet are. You're going to go full extension back, pull the sternum to the bar, similar to a ring row as well. Many of us right now are working out from home, have minimal or limited equipment options, or maybe we're on the road a lot and we see pull-ups show up in our program, and we get a lot of questions of what do we do instead? Well, instead of changing the movement, one thing that I love to do when I don't have access to a bar or a ring to pull from is grab a towel and a door, which most of us have access to. I prefer a thinner towel, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it long ways and take the shorter end, tie a knot here, and I'm going to throw this knot over the back side of the door. From there, I'm going to close the door. The thinner towel works great in our door frame, and I'm going to give it a little tug to make it tighter. Here, I can continue to do what we saw similar to the ring or bar assisted pull-up. So I'm going to bring my feet under me into a tucked position, and I can still use this as leverage to do a vertical pull or even a more horizontal inverted row style pull. Hopefully this information and all of these tips and modifications will be useful and helpful for you. We know how crucial it is to maintain vertical and horizontal pulling throughout pregnancy and all of your programs, and that's why you'll see it so often in the prenatal program. So as you change, as your body changes, might look different than others around you, but this should give you a list of options so that you can continue to progress your strength, your range of motion, and your overall fitness throughout your pregnancy.